everybody, and welcome to In My Mug, episode 290. 290, my God. On Monday, the 2nd of June, 2014. 2nd of June, halfway through the year. I am your host, Stephen Layton. Welcome to In My Mug, and welcome to the news. Okay, lots to get into this week, so I'm going to get on with this. Speaking of lots of new coffees this week. The site has been bulging with new coffees. One that definitely won't make it onto it In My Mug is the Nicaraguan Limoncillo Long Brief Funky. It is a tiny lot, and we don't have enough to share with you guys. Also, you sometimes shout at me when I send you funkies, so I'm always wary and nervous of sending funkies on In My Mug. But I can't send this one, there is not enough. If you want it, you will have to go and buy it. Some of you may have seen some exciting news on my Twitter and Instagram this week. You should follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Links on the screen. But those who do follow me may have seen that we have got La Lujon from El Salvador coming back. This was the coffee that was used by the World Barista Champion back in 2011, roasted by us, and through a series of things that didn't go well after that, we weren't able to get it back. We weren't able to agree contracts, and it ended up that we haven't had it for a couple of years. But it's coming back, and in 6-8 weeks it will be back, and it will be in My Mug. So there's a definite reason to keep resubscribing to In My Mug. And 6-cup Chemexes, the Woodnecks. I know quite a few of you have been waiting for them to come back in stock. We have had a tiny delivery of them, and I mean tiny like the last tiny lot. Everything's tiny this week. They are online. When they are gone, they are gone. If you want one, you should be very quick, because they won't be there for long. And that was the wonderful and interesting news. So we're going to focus on, and this week we're going to be focusing on the varietal Ethiosar. I'm fairly confident you won't have seen this anywhere either, as it is the brainchild and work of the Maresh family and their cousin Ricardo. Ethiosar is a stable hybrid plant that is a cross between the Ethiopian varietal, Ethiope, or Room Sudan as it's quite often known, and a Sachimor, which is a cross between Villasarci and Timor, which is a Robusta. And it is believed to be a Bourbon mutation as well, and is the offspring of that plant being crossed again with Villasarci. It's very spliced, if you like. Timor is the Robusta varietal and is in all of the Catimors. But this one has a very small percentage of Catimor, probably around about 8-10% actually in its DNA. But that Robusta makes it resistant to rust. The Room Sudan makes it super tasty. It's a Ethiopian varietal, has great cup characteristics, as does the Villasarci. It's a really tasty varietals mixed together with something that's a little bit more hardy. The other thing that he only needs 2,800 plants per manzana, which is an area of land, compared to 4,000 plants that's needed for the Caturra. It needs less fertiliser, less husbandry, less hassle, if you like. And the yield is 40% more than that equal Caturra lot. In fact, I've told you all about this, but I'm going to get the actual Ricardo. That this is sometimes called Ethiosar or Ricardo, because Ricardo is the daddy of this varietal. I'm going to get him to tell you about it right now.
And so my uncle and I started reproducing it more. We have small amount of plantations with this because we only started from 2009.
Yeah.
And remember, it takes 2 years for give you a seed. So from 2013. Last year I started planting more coffee of that, and I'm doing my farm completely on this variety.
So you say you saw a mutation on the farm. What variety was that mutation from?
Yes, that was from Ethiopia, and some Sachimor that has a little bit of Catimor, and then we crossed it back to be a Sapchi to take away the Catimor. So it's got a very small amount of Catimor. I would say maybe 10%, and that's what gives us the resistant to Roya
in
high production.
Okay.
So we're very excited. That's the Pacamar Amarillo. It started that way also. The Javanica started the same way too.
Yeah.
So we see a particular tree that we really like, and we see all the benefits that it has, the production, resistant, and obviously the cup, and then we get it from there.
And what kind of yield are you getting per manzana?
We're getting 60, 65, up to 70 quintales per manzana.
Wow, I mean that's super high, where you would expect it to be around about 30 to 40. Would that be a normal kind of yield?
To be a normal, yes.
Yeah.
And with less plants per area. We put 2,800 plants in a manzana, which with Caturra you do up to 4,000 plants. So you have to fertilize more plants
Yes.
to get those yields. With 2,900 plants, it's less fertilizer and better yields. Because you can see the bandolas, they're very long. This was planted, I think it was 2010. So it's only a 3 years old tree. See? So we're excited about it, and we're planting that in an altitude anything from 1,000 meters to 800 meters.
Wow.
And that's when we get more affected by the roya at that area.
Sure, the higher the temperatures, it seems to be that's
Yes,
affecting the rust a lot more,
yes,
isn't it? And
yes.
obviously lower is warmer.
Yeah. And then we do from 1,000 meters higher, we do more exotic varieties like Java, Catoy Amarillo, Catoy Rojo, Pacamar Amarillo, and those other varieties.
And obviously I've only cupped the two, I think it was two cups of these yesterday, and they cupped amazing. What is the general consensus of opinion on the cup profile of this varietal?
It starts in the farm. We start controlling the quality at the farm.
Yeah.
Try to pick it as the red possible, the mature possible, and we do some selecting before we dispulp it.
Right, right.
So we take the bad out.
Yeah.
It takes us more labor to do it, but it's worth it at the end.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Ricardo is a cool dude, and I think that is a cool focus on. Brand new varietal, always pushing the boundaries here at Has Been. Only been around for 3-4 years, and we managed to get our hands on some. But we should talk about the farm first of all, where this coffee comes from. It's a farm, if you've watched In My Mug before, you're going to know lots about. It's one of my favourite farms. We first bought back in 2007 as part of a buying group in the Cup of Excellence, and from the first time I ever cupped this coffee, I just fell in love with it. It was only after the auction had closed that I found out that it comes from the only person at the time I knew in Nicaragua. It comes from the Maresh family, and I knew the father and two brothers from my first ever origin visit back in 2005, and they have become really good friends. The farm is located in Matagalpa, and it's a huge 171 hectares. And if you want to know what huge is 9 waterfalls within the farm. Huge is a school, huge is shops, huge is healthcare centres, all as well as accommodation for everybody who lives there. The Maresh family are incredibly well respected producers and have become known for their experimental varietal lots like Ethiosar, but also their experimental processing lots like the Funkies, like the black honeys that they've been doing, lots of different things. But this varietal is very much the work of Ricardo, who you saw in the focus on part. Ricardo has a farm that is much lower than Limoncillo, around about 800 metres above sea level. And what happens at those lower farms is leaf rust is a real big problem. So he started looking at different plants that he was seeing mutations. He was planting little experiments everywhere, and he noticed that this one that had been spliced a few times was producing a really interesting cut profile. So he had to find a way to get the most out of his lower yielding stuff. And with this, he found that he got these really interesting lots. On top of that, though, we found as in, it feels like my farm, but Limoncillo, that they wanted to plant an experimental lot. And I've been cupping this for the last couple of years, and this year's the first time we've had enough to actually to buy and to sell. And it's got a really tasty, interesting cup profile. I'm super excited by what this coffee can do, because not only does the farmer win with a better yield, but we're winning with a better cup, but it's also a more consistent supply. So the figures, it's owned by the Moresh family. The region is Matagalpa. Farm is 171 hectares. Coffee grown area is around about 110 hectares. Has an altitude of 1,200 metres above sea level. The varietal is Ethiosar, sometimes referred to as Ricardo, and you have the pulp natural version. So we should go find out Roland's daft fact for this week, because I can't wait for him to tell us his wonderful, interesting cleverness. In 1625, the English invaded Nicaragua and called it the Mosquito Country. They didn't leave until 1894. I did not know that, Roland. Thank you for sharing that. I like it. The Mosquito Kingdom. Yeah, anyway, we should go look at what is going to be a amazing map bit. Hello, look at me, waving you up. Go on, up out the way. Welcome to this week's wonderful map bit. I'm excited about doing this one because I just know Limoncillo so well. So we're going to go across the globe and we're going to go to Central America. And obviously where we're really interested in is Nicaragua. Now, if you look at Nicaragua, it looks like we only buy from a very, very small proportion of it. But that's because all of the family's farms are in that area, and we know that they're going to give us amazing coffee. So the most popular athletic pastime is baseball, which made me really sad when I went, because I'm a football fan, and I was the only person in a Nicaragua football top in Nicaragua. But there's Limoncillo, and you can see the farm. I mean, this is on top of the farm buildings. It's a really, really good view. But what I want to show you is actually this part on the map. Now, this part that's circled, this is Ricardo. And as I've already said in the focus on, that Ricardo is sometimes what this varietal is referred to. So we can really get down into detail of where this coffee is grown. And I love that we're able to do that. And that's only because I've visited this farm lots of times now. So what we should do is try and have a good idea of what the topography is like around there. So the lowest point is obviously the sea, and the highest point is 2,400 metres. So it doesn't go massively high, and it's not a super volcanic mountainous region. It's fairly stable, but what they do is grow great varietals for that area. So this is why the Moresh family are so good, that they're trying different varietals. They don't just go with what's there, they're trying lots and lots of different things. And as you can see, this is quite a mountainous part of Nicaragua. It's certainly by no means flat. I remember climbing up that hill. It was quite a bit of work. So back down to the farm there, and as I say, that is the actual farmhouse, and that was the actual map bit. We are back. Let's dive into the espresso. So the thing I find most about this espresso, it's really chocolatey, like super chocolatey, milk chocolate deliciousness. It's very simple. It's not amazingly complex, but it's very, very tasty. Bang on with the espresso there, Roland. Well done. Into the cappuccino. Milk chocolate, add some milk to it. What you get? Milkshake. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard and down. I really shouldn't be singing that, should I? Sorry. It is chocolate milkshake. I'm sorry. I have that on the cupping table. I know I'm going to get that in the brood. And when you add milk to it, it's just more so. It is chocolate milkshake. It is not complex. It is not stupidly crazy. But it is delicious. So we should go into the brood. I have a special mug sent to me by the guys at Demitas, who are in Los Angeles. Sent me some coffee as well. Their roaster, he used to be my roaster in Andy. So if you're ever in Los Angeles, you should definitely go and check out these guys. I think they've got 3 or 4 shops. And yeah, I've been really impressed with what they do. Considering Andy's roasting, it's not bad at all. Let's go into the brood. As I said, it is milkshake. It is sticky, sweet, smooth, rounded, balanced, and really, really tasty. I will definitely take that mug and carry on drinking that at the end. Right, we should go to the Vine of the Week that was sent in by Elizabeth Firth. I know I haven't done these for a while, but if you want to send me stuff like this, I'm always willing to receive it. So yeah, let's run Elizabeth's video. That was very cool. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Elizabeth is Coffee Mumbo Jumbo on Twitter. You should follow her. Right, thank you very much for joining me, as always. And do remember, life is definitely too short for bad coffee.